Good evening, Master Tanaka. Good evening. Good evening, friend channel. Good evening to the beings of light who are in our presence today. To our always protector, Archangel Michael, this unit of beings of light who always bless us with their protective energies, so that the session is done in the best possible way. Once again, as always, I express my gratitude to all of you. I, Master Saint Germain, come to transmit my messages to Master Tanaka, to the friend channel, and sometimes transmit messages to our friends, special human beings. I am incredibly happy to know that our friend channel is in search, is studying and seeking answers, studying the Golden Book, studying Christ returns and speak his truths, studying the Bible, and thus having questions come up. These are questionings that I, Master Saint Germain, have waited for a long time. Yes, I must admit that the context of words used by Jesus Christ in some cases are used by me in my books, but not in the same contexts, not in the same direction, nor in the same examples as written in the Holy Bible. But we use words already known to the public, known to those who study the Bible, this book that has modified humanity so much. I use the words written there to confirm, let's say, some of the statements in my book, and to make it easier to understand and easier to memorize for our friends, our beloved students. Therefore, using words, phrases already known to humanity through the Holy Bible is a way to facilitate the absorption of the knowledge for our beloved students. An example of what I am saying is what was questioned by our friend channel to Master Tanaka yesterday. I am life and resurrection. This was a phrase spoken by our beloved Master Jesus Christ, and I usually use the same phrase, I am the resurrection and the life. But we use it at different moments, in different situations, wanting to say totally different things. In the passage of the book considered sacred by Christians, this phrase was spoken by Jesus in the passage that talks about the healing of his friend Lazarus. In that situation, what the book led us to believe is that his friend Lazarus had been disincarnated for a few days. However, the great truth is that his friend Lazarus did not find death. He did not disincarnate at that moment. And as Master Tanaka correctly told his dear disciple and our friend Channel, is that Lazarus was in a coma. By a specific situation, Lazarus was in a coma. And with the few medical resources and the little knowledge of the people in that village, Lazarus' death was declared, and his burial in a cave was arranged. Jesus Christ received the intuition, went in search, went looking for his friend, knowing specifically of his situation, and simply commanded him to rise. And Lazarus, coming out of the coma, stood up to everyone's surprise. So there was really no resurrection at any time. If there was the resurrection, there would have had to be a disembodiment. As this did not happen, it did not occur, really, this matter of the resurrection was far away from the purposes of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, in his letters, reveals that his own resurrection was the fruit of the imagination of those who wrote the Bible. And this is told in detail by our beloved Master in his book, psychographed directly by him. Therefore, yes, it is true that there was no physical resurrection at any time. And this was very well clarified by our beloved Master Tanaka in the conversation with our friend Channel. However, as said earlier, I, Saint Germain, try to use some references, some phrases referred in the Holy Book of Christians, the Bible, so that my teachings would become more clear and easier to memorize. In my golden book, I say, I am resurrection and life, but in a totally different sense. In the sense that you students remember that any affirmation is possible. Any decrees that we use the word I am, especially I am resurrection and life, reminds us of the issues related to the changes that we must have, that we must undertake in order to achieve spiritual evolution. As Master Tanaka teaches us during the courses of the Kuan Yin technique, it is necessary to have a kind of death in life and re-emerge with new habits, with new concepts, with new inspirations. In short, many new things. The easiest way to record this was to deliver this phrase, I am resurrection and life. Because that is what I mean by leaving all the superfluous, negative, useless things of your lives. Not only things like thoughts, like feelings, judgments, and negative actions. All this should be discarded from your lives, and you should reappear with other thoughts, other feelings, other actions, other behaviors. Behaviors focused on unconditional love. Behaviors focused on what really matters in the pursuit of spiritual elevation, in the pursuit of the goals defined in your reincarnation plans. Regardless of the subjectivity of your reincarnation plans, obviously you all must seek to do good things. You must seek to feel good, to think about good things. And for that, the phrase, I am resurrection and life, is more than valid to remind you that mistakes must be corrected. And there is no more efficient way than to have immediate consciousness and make immediate changes, as if today this human being died and then re-emerged with all the imperfections corrected. Very well, friend Norton Channel. I appreciate this questioning, and there must be several other questionings we come across with the teachings of three different sources of information: Golden Book of Saint Germain, the Holy Bible, and Christ Returns speaks his truth. And it is important to study all three of them. It is important to have these questionings. I am very thankful when you bring me these questionings and give me the opportunity to clarify to you any question. This makes me quite happy because this is how you evolve, studying, questioning, and with each of these questions answered, I am sure that you will grow, that you are progressively evolving. Quoting a popular saying amongst you, I tell you that unanimity is not intelligent. Unanimity in a group is not always beneficial to the group itself. Questions should be made. Doubts should be triggered. Your doubt can certainly be other people's doubts. It is necessary to have the courage to answer the doubts and to bring up your questions. That is the only way you are going to grow. Obviously, these questions take time to be answered, yes, for sure, but they are necessary. Clarifications are necessary. We are not in a competition where we must absorb as much information as possible in a minimum amount of time. Quite the contrary. In order to make significant progress, any questions need to be clarified, no matter if it will take years to read or study a book. It does not matter. What matters is the maximum absorption of these studies. Once again, in this case, I suggest, I ask, I request our beloved Master Tanaka to have patience and wisdom to understand the doubts and clarify them. Even if they are doubts considered trivial to you, Master Tanaka. I am sure that in a master's position, you will have the patience and wisdom to clarify doubts and move on. Therefore, friends, special human beings, I ask you to study and question. Question everything that stays up in the air, whatever is misunderstood by you. Very well, I am Master Saint Germain and look forward to receiving your questions and to direct them in the best possible way. Thank you all so much. So be it. So it is. Thank God.